Have you ever felt like there's more to life? Like we're supposed to have some kind of magic, but we've forgotten how to use it? Well, today we're diving into a framework that says that feeling is absolutely right. It's all about unlocking the creator inside you to consciously build the reality you want. Let's get into it.
So this whole idea kicks off by challenging something we've all been told probably a million times, that life is just hard, complicated, a struggle. Be realistic. But what if that whole concept is the biggest lie we've ever bought into?
All right, so let's really pull apart this lie. We see things that defy our everyday logic, and we call them miracles or magic. But what if we have it completely backwards?
What if that feeling of wonder, of magic, is actually our factory setting, our natural state of being? The source material for this explainer suggests that deep down, our soul totally remembers this. It remembers a time when life felt like this amazing game where pretty much anything was possible.
It's the big question, right? If this creative power, this flow, is our birthright, then where in the world did it go? Why does life so often feel like an uphill battle instead of a magical game we get to play?
Well, there are a few key culprits. For one, we've just lost contact with ourselves. We've been trained to trust only cold, hard logic and to ignore our intuition, our feelings. We basically become slaves to our own overthinking, anxious minds. And let's be real, the modern world, you can call it the Matrix, is perfectly engineered to keep us that way. It keeps us distracted with all these cheap, fast dopamine hits, so we never actually have the quiet time to notice that something's missing.
So, how do we get back? How do we find our way home? Well, the source material gives us a kind of map, a way to understand the different levels of consciousness that we all travel through on this journey back to our own inner power.
Now, this is really important. These levels are not permanent labels to stick on yourself or other people, not at all. Think of them more like stages in a video game or stops on a journey of waking up. The first step to changing your reality is simply figuring out where you are on the map right now.
So let's walk through these 6 stages of awakening. And as we go, just notice, see if you recognize parts of your own life, past or present, in any of these descriptions.
Okay, first up, we have level 1, the sleeper. This is someone who's pretty much on autopilot. Life happens to them. They often feel like a victim of their circumstances, complaining about the government, their job, the economy, and they tend to avoid taking responsibility because from where they're standing, it genuinely feels like they have zero power to change anything.
Next, we move up to the warrior. Now, the warrior has started to wake up to their own inner strength, which is huge, but they don't really know what to do with it yet, so they turn that power outwards into fighting the world. This is that classic hustle and grind mentality. Life is a competition, a battlefield. Warriors can be super successful, but it's a success that's always fueled by this nagging fear of losing everything they fought for.
Eventually, though, the warrior gets tired. Fighting all the time is exhausting. This burnout often triggers a crisis, and that crisis pushes them into the next stage, the seeker. The seeker has this massive realization that the old way, the constant struggle, just isn't working anymore. It can be a really confusing, even painful time, but it's so necessary, because it's the beginning of a real search for a deeper truth.
The 4th level is the personality. Here, you start to see these glimmers of real trust in the universe. The person starts to believe things can work out, but the ego is still running the show quite a bit. Their sense of self-worth is totally wrapped up in what other people think of them. They're chasing external validation, achievements, and looking perfect. Think about curating that flawless life on social media, where the appearance of happiness is almost more important than the actual feeling.
Then we get to level 5, and this is where things get really fun. This is the player. At this stage, you genuinely trust life. You see the world as a fundamentally safe and amazing place, like a giant, wonderful game. The need to control everything just melts away. You start to just enjoy the ride, and you notice how reality seems to magically bend and respond to your joyful, trusting vibe. And that brings us to the final level, the magician. The magician doesn't just play the game, they are consciously creating it. They have this crystal clear vision of what they want, but more than that, they have a deep cellular knowing that it's already theirs. They don't fight reality, they don't even push. They collaborate with life, creating what they desire from this place of incredible calm and certainty.
And you can really see the difference here. The warrior's mind sees life as a battle to be won. It's motivated by fear, and it's all about the ego. The magician's mind, it sees life as a dance, a collaboration. It's motivated by love and trust, and it's driven by the soul. It's a total shift from fighting against the world to creating with the world.
So what's the big secret to all this power? It's so beautifully simple. Being a magician isn't about learning secret spells. It's about giving yourself permission, finally, to be 100% authentically you. That's it. That's where all the magic is.
Okay, so this all sounds amazing, right? But how do we actually do it? How do we go from hearing about this to actually living it? Let's get into the practical steps for activating that magician within you.
All right, let's break these down because this is the real how-to. First, reconnect with your body. Get out of your head. Start listening to your gut feelings, your energy. Your body knows things your mind doesn't. Second, you've got to step out of that rigid, linear right versus wrong thinking. Life isn't black and white. When you let go of that judgment, you open yourself up to infinite possibilities. Third, and this is a game changer, know that what you desire is already yours. You have to shift from a feeling of wanting, which is a state of lack, to a feeling of knowing it's already here. Fourth, choose your new reality with your focused attention. It's like tuning an old-school radio. Your current reality is just one station playing. You can use your attention to deliberately tune into the frequency of the reality you actually want. Fifth, find your people. It is so much easier to hold this new state of being when you're around others who get it, who support you, instead of people who keep trying to pull you back to the old, life is a struggle station. And finally, number 6, and this is so important, become blind to contradictions. This doesn't mean you're in denial. It just means you stop feeding the old unwanted reality with your attention and your energy. You see it, you acknowledge it, and then you put all your focus and feeling back on the new reality you're choosing.
So here's the bottom line. Your attention is literally the currency you use to create your life. But here's the secret sauce. It's not just thinking. It's your attention getting a stamp of approval, getting supercharged by the feeling of what you want. That potent combination of focused thought and elevated emotion, that is the engine that creates worlds.
And when you boil it all down, this whole map, these whole 6 stages, it all comes back to one incredibly powerful idea: personal choice. You are not just a spectator watching your life unfold on a screen. You are the director, the writer, and the star of the show.
And just remember this, the vibe of the magician isn't rushed or desperate. It's not about hustling harder or forcing things to happen. It's a deep, quiet, calm certainty. The magician knows exactly where they're going, and they move with this incredible ease, because they know on every level that where they're going is already a done deal.
So, I'll just leave you with this one last thought to chew on. If your reality is truly, fundamentally a choice, what new reality are you going to start choosing for yourself right here, right now?